because suffering is a universal experience, learning to suffer well is the most important thing, because you cannot avoid it. You can try, you can spend your life trying to avoid suffering, but then you actually never learn to deal with it. Jesus suffered well. That's the big thing of the Bible. Job actually points to that, right? Even his response to this suffering in chapter 1 is amazing. It's going to happen. The longer you live, the more we understand how evil and how corrupt the world is, the more you're going to understand, I'm going to see more tragedy and loss as the years go by. And that's a sobering thought to have, but learning to respond to it is far better, the most important thing that we could have. Now, having a thoughtful understanding of it still has value. You can only learn, see, here's the problem is, I can't really get in a sermon or reading a book, I can't really give you what you need, and I can't really learn what I need from a book or from a sermon in terms of how to learn to suffer well. The only way truly to learn to suffer well is to face suffering with God's help and learn how to respond properly to it. You have to learn it from the school of life. It's not, you can't just theorize and say, oh yeah, I'm going to plan. You can get some inspiration, you get some ideas, but until you do it, until you actually, you face the hardest things you've ever faced in your life and you try and get through and you get to the other side of it, that's the only way. So we've got to develop that understanding. We learn that in life. Today I want to, I'm going to focus on how do we understand it from a thought perspective, because for this reason, from a rationale perspective, because if we don't, what can happen is some people can abandon their faith, and they don't need to. And actually, this is probably one of the biggest reasons that people either can't come into the Christian faith, or perhaps they leave the Christian faith, is for this exact reason of the existence of evil and suffering. Because they wrongly have thought, well, if I'm a believer in God, then he's just going to bless me all the time. It's always going to be good. It's always going to be great. And then they hit something really, really tough, and they say, well, this can't be right. This doesn't square away with my understanding. And actually, it was their understanding that was wrong in the first place. The nature of evil and suffering, we're going to get into that. Think about it this way. The heroes that you have, the people that you respect the most, that you want to be like the most, why do we turn people into our heroes? It's because generally because they have suffered well, because they've overcome great adversity. They faced the evil in their life, and they actually overcame it in some way, and they're an absolute inspiration to us and to other people. You know what feels really good? Hitting that beautiful like button. It's just sitting right there, all alone with nothing to do. Help it live to its fullest potential. You know what else feels really good? Embracing that subscribe button. It's like a puppy begging for attention. Just showing it a little bit of love goes a long way. Like and subscribe.